Most spin and go players lose money not because they play bad hands, but because they don't understand the math behind simple decisions. In this video, I will show you the only poker math you actually need to stop guessing and start making profitable decisions. Hey, and welcome everybody to the Poker Math course, The Basics. I'm Chilli, your host for this course, and I'm quite excited doing this. Quite excited because this opportunity was granted to me by Team Bas Poker, so a big thanks for that, and also because of all the stuff coming up in this course. I know math is rarely anyone's favorite, and when the word math is mentioned, let's say it politely, everybody gets pretty reserved. Unfortunately, poker players are no exception from this. But understanding the basic and later on the more advanced math involved in poker can make a huge difference to your game and with that give you quite an edge over your opponents who lacks this knowledge. So this course is designed to be the perfect start into the world of mathematics and poker because everything in this course will be designed in a very easy, understandable way. Even when we look at quite advanced topics like MDF or value to bluff construction. With that, I hope I got you all hooked about what's to come, but before we start with our first lesson of the course, let's finish this introduction and there I would like to look at why math could be helpful to us poker players. Why we need math in poker I illustrated through this graphic. At the same time, this graphic will also show us that there are three main areas through which mathematics has an influence in poker. Let me walk you all through my thoughts or graphic, step by step. We start on the top, where we see that there exists a lot of different skills needed to become a successful poker player. A lot of those skills have nothing to do with math. This fact is shown through all of these white little arrows, where each one stands for a different skill needed outside of math. Good examples for a non-mathematical skill are all the mindset problems we have to master. Like a lot of players have the strong desire to smash their mouse when they experience a so-called bad beat. Another example could be everything around our physical condition, that we need to work out or watch our nutrition. One more thing I can think of right now outside of mindset problems or mathematical problems is that if we play online, we need to understand and work with a lot of different computer programs. But I'm sure everyone can think of a lot more non-mathematical skills needed. But when it comes down to poker strategy or tactics, mathematics become an indispensable ally. Again, let us think of an example. Two situations that come up frequently while playing at the table are that we have to make decisions like calling, betting, raising, and so on. And for those, we need assumptions about our opponents. Both of these situations, our repeated decisions and the assumptions about our opponents are highly determined through mathematics because math, can tell us how an optimal decision looks like in the first place. And math is also providing crucial help by finding precise assumptions. You see, right now I'm talking about the two blue boxes on the left and right. And of course, these white little arrows tell us again that there is more than just plain math involved here. But math is definitely the dominating factor. Now back to precise assumptions on the right side of the graphic and how math is having an influence here. Precise assumptions come in poker from what is called hand reading. Some of you might have already heard this term before, but for those who have not, hand reading in poker describes the process of putting your opponent on different hands or a range of hands. I know it is a little bit dicey when you define one term by introducing another one, but if you do not know or want to know more about what a range means in poker, for this you can watch the free video the essential poker basics to start winning on the Team Bas Poker YouTube channel. I can highly recommend this video. But where were we? Hand reading, the green box on the bottom middle, and how it relates to mathematics. This process of hand reading is highly connected to the mathematical branch of combinatorics, which is the second main area through which math has an influence in poker. Now, when we have an idea of how an optimal decision in poker might look like, and we have precise assumptions through hand reading, we can finally put all this together and compute the most profitable response, which is another way of saying what is my best play versus my opponent. How we compute this comes from game theory, which can be seen as another branch of mathematics. To sum it all up, this slide showed us why we need math and that there are three main areas where math is really helpful in poker. These areas were: number 1, how an optimal decision looks like; number 2, precise assumptions through hand reading; number 3, compute the most profitable response. So, with all that, I would say we can conclude that rejecting or ignoring mathematics as a helpful tool for playing poker leaves us blindly guessworking at the table. But in turn, if we deal and work our way through the mathematics of poker, this can highly benefit our game and with that our win rate. But as all this were just my personal thoughts or conclusions, and it's fair to say who or what is a Chilli, let us look at what other more well-known poker players have to say about this topic. Here we see some words or quotes from famous poker players that point out the importance of math in poker, so that you see it is not only my personal opinion. It is also worth mentioning that it was pretty easy to find quotes pro math, so that I could pick which ones I like best. Let me tell you all why I chose the following three. The first one, that poker is a math game disguised as anything, comes from Split Suit. And I like this one because throughout this course I will try my best to undisguise the math involved in poker. The second one is taken from the book The Mathematics of Poker, and this title itself should explain enough why it deserves to be here. On top of that, this book was so important for the development of mathematics and poker that you need to mention it in a course we are about to do. Now, to the statement itself, as it says, I will try my best to show you and get familiar with all the important math needed. The last quote is from John van Vliet, a player which I didn't know before, but I read that he is supposed to be a very good MTT player, which does not really matter here at all. I just loved his statement. If you truly want to master the game in a comprehensive way, I believe that math is necessary. With that one sentence, he basically said what I tried to explain to you all on the slide before in my long talk about my graphic. That concludes the 3 points pro math. Now let us look at the flip side and see if there is anything against math. Here, it was pretty difficult to find any quote, words or statement. This fact is another indicator of the importance of math in poker. So, a little warning up front, the 2 quotes I picked for this slide are a little made up by me. The first one, from Daniel Negreanu, that you do not need a PhD in mathematics to be a successful poker player, is already not really it's not really a statement against math in the first place. And when you take into account everything what he actually said, that weakens the quote even more, because he insisted that you do not need a PhD, but you need to know at least the basics about math and poker. So I guess we all can agree that this is not really saying anything against math and poker. But I tried to find something, and I thought if you need a polarized opinion in poker, just go with him. The second quote here gets even worse, because it is not even from a poker player. John von Neumann was a mathematician who was quite important for poker without anybody realizing it. So I give him a little bit credit here because he, together with Oscar Morgenstern, published the book Theory of Games and Economic Behavior. This book was the baseline that led to the work of Nash and his famous Nash equilibrium, which is known in poker as GTO. At the same time, this book includes also some of the earliest models about poker. Now, accidentally, I stumbled over this interview where some of John von Neumann's colleagues said that when they all played poker together, he always got beaten. And I thought this was a little fun fact that a brilliant mathematician can suck at poker. But of course, who knows how it really has been, and all his colleagues were for sure not bad in math itself. Plus, if you're winning or losing a little home game after work, this is really a poor indicator if you're good or bad at poker. But I like the idea that a brilliant mathematician can suck at poker. And for the most, I wanted to give John von Neumann a little bit credit for his work in regards to poker. I hope by now we all can agree that math is quite important in and for poker, and that it is not a bad idea to invest some time to study it. So with that, let us look at the study plan of this course. On this slide, we see the two main goals of this poker math course. The first one in green on the left side is to get familiar with some of the basic poker math concepts. Which concepts this will be in detail, I will show you in a second. The second goal in red on the right side is to get familiar with the chart. This chart is called Little Helper. TBP and me created this chart as a helpful learning tool for poker math. It is supposed to act a little bit like a starting hand chart so that it gives you a good guideline without fully understanding every detail of the poker math. And most important, this chart will help you with your in-game decisions at the poker table. How this chart and the structure of the whole course looks like we see on the next slide. Here you see the whole structure and topics of the poker math course. This course will consist of 12 lessons, everything in the green circle, or not really a circle, maybe we call it green border. You see what I mean. The 8 red lessons in the middle are all topics of the chart I mentioned, while the 4 green lessons deal with important topics outside of the chart. A good way to study this course would be to watch the first 4 lessons of the chart and then turn to the green lessons. After that, you should study the rest of the 4 red lessons. But this is just a recommendation, and you can study it the way you ever like to study it. And now let us turn our attention to the chart. This is how the chart looks like, and nobody has to make hectic screenshots because you will be able to get this for free from the TBP homepage or Discord server. Oh, good point I forgot to mention before. TBP has a great Discord channel, so join there and chat and discuss with other players any topic about poker. And of course, we can discuss there everything that comes up in this course. But back to the chart. On top, you see the topic or concept that will be discussed in the lesson. I will always tell you what this concept in general means. And then I show you where these numbers come from and why they are useful. This is how we will proceed in each lesson so that you will be able to work with this chart for your in-game decisions by the end of this course. That concludes my little introduction to the poker math course. I hope I have made more people curious than scared them off. So with that, see you all in the first lesson of the course, and do not forget to join the TBP Discord channel. And of course, thanks for the attention, and as always, good luck at the tables.